You know, the president has had very little to say about this executive order other than to say that he wants to deal with liabilities in the industry, which leads to an important question. Is this an order that's geared to protect the nation's food supply or to connect these companies? That is, to keep their companies safe from their own workers. This is what a potential meat shortage looks like. Too many hogs in Minnesota. Too many cattle in Indiana, and way too many chickens everywhere.
You need to empty those barns.
So how can too many animals cause a food shortage? The answer is simple. There are not enough workers to butcher them.
We just won't have enough space to house all the animals that we have.
In Minnesota, farmer Mike Patterson said, with pig pens overflowing and few places to take his herd, euthanasia has been a terrible option.
Pretty tough for me to even think about.
Gary Harris, who's worked at the now closed Tyson plant in Logansport, Indiana for 2 decades, says companies should take the blame for reacting too slowly and turning his workplace into a virus breeding ground.
I've heard supervisors say that it's just a virus like the flu.
According to the union representing workers, at least 22 plants have closed because of the virus in the last 2 months. And at least 20 meatpacking and food processing workers have died.
I'm scared.
For workers like Ernest Latiker at a Tyson plant in Iowa, it could soon get even worse.
We're working with Tyson. We are. We're going to sign an executive order today, I believe, and that'll solve any liability problems where they had certain liability problems, and we'll be in very good shape.
The liability problems the president's talking about involves the meatpacking industry's concerns about getting sued by workers who get sick while processing the food. The president's executive order uses the Defense Production Act to classify meat production as critical infrastructure to order the facilities to stay open. Details have not been released, but a senior White House official told the Washington Post the Labor Department will work with companies to provide enhanced safety for workers. And in exchange, the president's order will protect companies from being sued by its workers. Today, America's largest union representing meatpackers issued a statement which says in part, "We urge the administration to immediately enact clear and enforceable safety standards that compel all meatpacking companies to provide the highest level of protective equipment through access to the federal stockpile of PPE. Ensure daily testing is available for workers and their communities. Enforce physical distancing at all plants. And provide full paid sick leave for any workers who are infected." Ernest Latiker said he went to the company's HR department last week to tell them he was scared.
They told me I was safe, and they told me that everything was okay, and they told me I'll have a better chance of catching the coronavirus going out to Walmart than in Tyson. Come to work, you safe.
So did he believe them?
I wanted to believe them, and then I needed that money at the same time, so I went to work.
On CNN earlier this week, Tyson Foods President Dean Banks said the company is committed to the safety of its workers.
And we're part of that community, and from everything we've seen, the spread of the disease in the community is affecting us in the plant. Here is another concern. If local health officials decide a plant is not safe to work in and shut the plant down, will they be allowed to continue to shut it down, or will this executive order take precedence?